Today I'm going to show you the most common buying mistakes you do when you buy winter boots. My name is Matti. I'm working as a dog musher and nature guide up in northern Sweden. And together with my partner Stina, we run a small guide company just above the Arctic Circle in Jokkmokk. Outdoor life is actually what we're doing for a living. I'm working with tourists and I take a lot of guests out in nature. We offer them good boots, but I also see the kind of boots that they usually come with. And the boots they come with, very often, it's not the boots you want to have out here. That's the boots that give you cold feet. I'm going to walk you through several of these mistakes that I see that people do and what kind of boots the shops in the south try to sell to you and what kind of boots you should avoid. More or less some basic guidelines when you're buying winter boots.
Right now I'm out on a 2-day trip with 2 guests from Australia. And we are driving dogs, having campfires, and we're going to spend the night in our tent camp. It's minus 15 Celsius and not cold at all, but good temperature. But as you see, the nature looks like a Christmas card. It's really like traveling in a Christmas card. So beautiful. Days are short and it's not really sunlight. It's no sun at all actually. Stanna! I don't remember when I saw the sun the last time, but that's how the life is above the Arctic Circle. One of the first mistakes I want to talk about is the size of the shoe. People buy too small shoes. Then you don't fit enough with layers, and if you try to squeeze in all the extra layers, you will block the blood circulation. I have usually one thin wool sock and then 1 or 2 thicker pair of wool socks. Inside my shoes, and I can still waggle my toes. It shouldn't be stocked so you can't waggle the toes. Waggle the toes? I don't know. Höger. I don't know what the correct name is. Stanna. So the shoes should be big enough. I have 41 for my running shoes and then I have size 45, so 4 sizes bigger, but normally people have 2 to 3 size bigger shoes on their winter boots. But that's very much like how you want to have it. It's very personal how you like it. And a lot of people ask me what size should I have, and I have no idea, but usually bigger than you believe. Oh, I'm so warm. We have done some uphill. Now it quickly gets darker and darker, and I have prepared with a lamp on my head. We are coming closer and closer to the camp. One more mistake people do when they buy winter boots is that they buy with too low toe books. You have heard about wide toe books, but now we also have to talk about high toe books. And if the toe book is too low, you don't get enough with air in the toe books between the toes and the shoe. And if the toe book is too flat, low, and the wrong material, when it gets cold and the temperature drops below 15, 20, 30 Celsius, negative of course, then the toe books will stay in the bended form and that compress all the air over your toes, and then you will have no isolation over the foot blade and you will have really cold toes and a really uncomfortable shoe. So you should check the toe books, and it's not a bad idea and get the toe books made of a little bit more soft material, but that's difficult to find. When the toe box is higher, you also get possibilities to add more socks and an extra sole inside the shoe, and that help you from getting cold from the underside. So that's about the toe box.
Here you go, darling.
So now we arrived to the tent camp, and the dogs are a little bit tired. It's very heavy trail with this soft snow on top. Now it starts snowing, so we will get more snow on the trail tomorrow, of course. So we have had dinner and drinking tea and coffee, and now
Jade and Michelle have gone to bed for sleeping. I'm also going to bed very soon. It's snowing, as you see. It's almost around 0 or maybe plus. You see the snow is melting on my jacket right now. So it was minus 15 when we started out, and now it's really warm. This is how the weather changed up here. But let's continue with the next mistake. And I would say that one mistake is buying this city fluffy civilization kind of winter boots. You know, these boots with the fluffy thing that's coming up of the shaft, they looks really arctic, pretty, nice, but they should stay on the asphalt. They shouldn't come out here. What you want is a good boot that is kind of narrow up in the shaft, so you really can pull the pants outside the boots. The pants should go over the boots. If the pants doesn't do that and you step into the deep snow, and when you're pulling up the shoe, it filled up with this snow. So you want a shoe that actually works out here. You don't want this city fluffy thing. So somehow you have to choose if you want to have warm dry boots or if you want to have this beautiful good looking city fluffy something, I don't know. And then next thing, ignoring the moisture inside the shoe. Probably you believe that you have very dry shoe and everything, but it collects a lot of moisture inside the shoe during the day. So when you do overnight trips like we do, you need a boot where you can pull out the liner, where you can put out the inner boots. It shouldn't be a lot of isolation built into the shoe. You need a liner that you can pull out and drying during the night. And don't ignore that. Pull out the liner, dry it. Because even if it's warm like right now, you collect a lot of moisture from the wet snow. If it's cold, you get condensation because of the temperature difference from the foot, warm foot, and the cold surface on the shoe, on the inside of the shoe, and that gives condensation. If you ignore the moist, then you will have wet and moist feet, and that's not warm. Then you have cold feet. So every evening I pull out the liner, I hang up my socks for drying, and I want to start next day with dry socks. And I don't want to end up with tons of wet socks in my backpack. So I have just 2 pair of socks that I'm using on the tour, and I dry them over and over again every day. Dry feet, warm feet.
It's a new day and it's clearing up and it's a little bit colder again. We had a great night in the camp and now we are on the way back towards the canal. Last night it was raining and really warm and it's falling snow from the trees. A really spring day. And now it's clearing up and it's chilly again. So the weather can really change a lot very fast. Another mistake with winter boot is that you think you will find one pair of boots that works for everything. That will never be the case. And sometimes you wanna do, stanna. Sometimes you wanna do, stanna. So sometimes you wanna skiing, running and snowshoeing or driving dog or fishing and standing in the slush or not moving so much. And then you need different boots for different activities. You will find a link to a video I made with my 3 boots that I am using. So check that out and then you see the 3 model I'm using right now. Ja. Vänster.
Okay, all people that know a little bit about cameras know for sure, don't take a cold camera into a warm cabin. Then you get this foggy thing. And then don't trust what the company tell you about the shoes. We bought these shoes from, I can't record with this. And then one more thing, and that's the boots. When you buy boots like this, they say -74, and that's bullshit.
These boots are good, but not for minus 74. We use them down to minus 40, 45 for our guests, and they are really good. They have a good liner inside, and we force our guests to take very, very big size, and so they can have extra socks. And if they don't have their own extra socks, we give them several of these extra socks that they can have inside. Because don't trust what the shop tell you when you buy boots. That's a very, very common mistake. And that is common mistakes for gloves, for hats, for shoes, for everything. Don't trust the shop. Use your kidney. You need a big thing with a lot of air inside to stay warm, actually. So now this video was recorded, and I already start thinking about the next video I'm going to do. Maybe about how we do for finding water. We're planning a video about how to keep your hands warm. Yeah, we have a lot of different videos we already think about. And if there is something special you want us to do, give us idea, leave comment down below so we know what you want to see. I want to say thank you to all of you who follow us and giving thumbs up and leaving comments and doing Patreon and doing Buy Me a Coffee and Super Thanks Me and all that. Big thanks for supporting the channel. Also big thanks to you who clicking the link on down below and buying things, because very often that give us a kickback, and we only recommend things that we trust and that we're using by ourselves. We don't recommend your shit. Now I had to go in, pack up all the stuff and have a coffee maybe, and see you next video. Ciao.